Fuck it, come on then.
Here we are, welcome guys.
Hello YouTube.
Dream Theater tier list 2021 albums.
Are you gonna edit this or is it gonna be raw, uncut, unfiltered shit?
I'm gonna change the volume levels a bit and that's fine.
Okay.
Right,
Alright.
here we are Charlie, a bit of professionalism for this. Let's calm down a little bit.
Right.
So starting with 1988, 1989's When Dream and Day Unite. Featuring Charlie.
Sorry.
It's featuring
It's
Charlie.
got an S, by the way.
Featuring Charlie Dominici on vocals, Kevin Moore keyboards.
Yep. You go first, mate, because you're the one who knows this shit.
Right. I think we're gonna have to go over this list when we're done and like tweak a bit. Obviously.
Yeah.
When Dream and Day Unite, I'd say, for me, I think a lot of people put it on INF like easily. I think I want to give it a B, but I think that's being too generous. I think like C, but I know that you probably won't agree with that.
If you put that album in B, you are inbred brain dead. It
Let me
must
think.
roll through your bastard.
Thing is, I might rather listen to this over like Black Clouds or something.
What? I mean, I don't know, to be honest, actually.
I think it's
right,
either
so-
C or D. But we've got to agree on something. We've got to agree on a middle ground.
Okay. Well, I think the middle ground will come where it's like low C or high D kind of shit, you know what I mean?
So, what do you think at the minute? What are you gravitating more towards?
To be honest, I don't, because I need to, like, establish an opinion about this album. Because I don't fucking have one.
I mean, like, you've got. I mean, did you listen to like Fortune in Lies? Do you like that? I know Yutzy Jam's cool.
Yeah, it's a jam. Only because it appears in Instrumental. If it didn't, I probably wouldn't fucking listen to it. I wouldn't go out my way to listen to it.
Killing and Light Fuse and Get Away, Afterlife.
I don't know why Light Fuse and Get Away was the only one that I had in my Spotify playlist, to be honest. Because I don't remember it being that good, actually.
But
do you know what?
Killing and like Afterlife, maybe.
I feel really fucking bad being on a Dream Theater like tier list. No, I can't.
You know what? Most people have not listened to the first song, so I think we can get away with it.
Do you know, I could... Oh, by the way, right, for anyone watching, this guy, like, he's the fucking Dream Theater, like, elitist and shit, and he obviously knows more than me. I fucking introduced him to Dream Theater. Remember that, okay? Always credit me with the fucking discoverer.
You introduced me to a lot of things when you like Metallica. I mean, I think I would say I introduced myself to Deftones because of fucking...
You chat shit. You
what
chat
band?
shit.
Well, actually...
I the way back from download from alarm.
Yeah, but I listened to Around the Fur before that. I
Alright,
think actually
okay,
you
well,
bought my own somebody, probably.
I think I did.
So
I don't
you
remember.
Right, back to you there.
I'm responsible for everything ever made!
Right, where are you putting it?
To be honest, me personally, I'll have to put it in haven't listened enough because I haven't listened enough. But I suppose for you, this is different. I can put it in haven't listened enough. You can put it wherever.
Yeah, but we
you
need
want,
like a common ground so we can agree on a tier list.
I can't accurately fucking rank it. I
There's no
haven't
point
listened
us
to
doing
it.
two separate tier lists.
I suppose. Well, I guess there is because like then we're not a hive mind. Fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, I forgot that you don't listen to albums here. You just listen to songs and put them in place.
I mean, I do. I have listened to I've listened through like albums. I've had sit downs and shit, but usually I just find the songs that I like. Yeah. So
Right,
the intro.
I'm gonna put it in DL1.
Put it in. Oh god. I don't think it's awful. I doubt it's awful. But for me, from what I've heard of it, it's just not Dream Theater. They're just trying to be a Rush tribute band kind of imitation. That does not sound like it's not maybe not even that. Maybe it's not that they're imitating. They're just not fully established. They haven't found the sound yet.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know what? We'll put it in D. Are we happy with that?
Okay. That's fair enough. I'm gonna put it in haven't listened enough because I haven't listened enough. And that's
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the only difference in our tier list. So got that out of the
And
way.
here we are. The Breakthrough album, 1990, is it? Or was it 1991 or 2? Oh, fuck all the way off.
Yo, this guy.
Images and Words.
Yeah.
I think we're in the small fucking section of Dream Theater fans that aren't fucking mad like about this album, like saying it's the best ever made. So
I mean, I do like obviously the staples, Metropolis and Pull Me Under, but I mean, it's funny, we only got into that because of Rock Band. If it weren't for Rock Band, we would not have discovered Dream Theater, probably.
Yeah.
The other songs on the album, however, I mean, Take the Time is kind of like a little funk. I mean, is it funky? I don't know, it's just kind of
Kinda,
upbeat. Let me catch my breath. All that kind of shit.
yeah.
Kind of in the same vein as Lie, in a way, a little bit, where James LeBree's doing that kind of funky, bouncer, you know, syllable iteration. You just deep break at the bottom. Just let me catch my breath. It's like the kind of it's the same
Yeah,
vein, I think. But anything else, I mean, it's mainly just like kind of ballady shit. I think.
Well, Under a Glass Moon, Metropolis, Pull Me Under,
I forgot about that.
Learn to Live, and then like Surrounded and Wait for Sleep.
I do quite like Under a Glass Moon. I think better than most of the other songs on the album, purely because I saw Portnoy play it on drum here, and it sounded pretty decent.
Yeah.
So, and the drum beat intro thing's kind of like iconic. It's not technically fucking mind blowing or whatever, but it's like one of them iconic kind of drum intros.
Oh, and Another Day, which has sax.
Yeah.
The other single from this album.
Is that the one with F sharp?
No, that's Learn to Live.
Oh right, yeah.
So, you know what, like, I think it'd be kind of offensive to not put it at least in A. Because Pull Me Under, I'd say, is one of the best songs. Metropolis is one of the best songs. Under a Glass Moon is a very, very, very good song. Take the Time is a very, very good song for me. Learn to Live is a very, very good song. It's just like Another Day, it's cool, it's good, I guess. Surrounded, I'm not fucking listening to that. Like, I mean, people say this album's flawless, but I can't see Surrounded being in heavy rotation or really Wait for Sleep. Especially
I mean,
since
even
Wait
Master
for
of
Sleep.
Puppets in Flawless. I mean, fucking, you know,
Yeah.
Leper Messiah, to be honest.
I mean, I fuck with Nothing Messiah, but
It's fine, but it's, you know, it's not flawless.
Wait for Sleep is literally just a prequel to Learning to Live. It's just the same melody, but it's just kind of a waste of a slot for me. Especially when, like, say, Awake has better ballady type, slow, soft songs on it. But I do think it'd be kind of offensive to not put it at least in A, so I'd put it in A.
No, it's
Yeah.
not offensive. It's not that it's offensive to Dream Theater. It's offensive to anyone watching this video, if there is anyone watching this video, that gives half a fuck. Because they'll turn around and be like, how could you not put it in S tier? Personally, I would either... I mean, again, it's unfair because I haven't listened enough, but right now, I'd put it in maybe low A, high B, purely because Pull Me Under, Metropolis Part 1, fucking S tier songs, okay? Anything else... I'd say Under a Glass Moon's maybe lower high B song, I guess. And Take the Time, I don't really fuck with Take the Time, to be fair. It's just kind of a bit too, like, James LeBrie trying to be funky and let me catch my breath. I just, you know. I mean, Dream Theater do a lot of funky shit on the instruments. When James LeBrie jumps in, like the fucking, the funky shit that's in Octavarium is pretty cool. It's like the boom, dum, ding, dum, dum, all that shit. They do funky shit a lot, Dream Theater, but in context of the song and with the instruments, it works. When James LeBrie jumps in on the vocals and starts doing these like kind of arpeggiated whatever, like vocal melodies and shit, I just don't fuck with it, to be honest. It just comes off as like, that's not James LeBrie. He hasn't got a fucking ounce of funk to him. He's straight like a white man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get what you mean. Do you not
guess
fuck
I'd
with
put it-
Learning to Live or not?
I do not remember how it sounds, to be
It's
honest.
the din. Well, actually, the din. There's so many sections because it's like 10 minutes long. It's like the
Oh yeah.
and then the bit where it's like and
See,
the
think Oh yeah. I suppose it's fine. I suppose I could listen to it and I wouldn't skip it. It's not just something that would come on and be like, yeah, I'm not listening to that, fuck that. I probably wouldn't skip it, I'll probably listen to it. Alright, do you know what? I'm not going through song by song because I don't remember all from. Let's just put, in my opinion, Images and Words in... It's gonna have to be A, innit? really.
I've put it in here, so.
Anything less than A, people will fucking lose the shit. So, right,
Right.
Awake.
On to 1994's Awake, the last album with Kevin Moore on keyboards.
The last good album. Sorry. Go on.
So for me, hot take, but you already know this. I'd put it in S straight away.
I don't get why that's a hot take. I mean, I can buy that
Well,
being a great album.
people saying that Awake is better than Images and Words, I think is just a hot take.
Yeah, well, saying that I've listened to Load more than Master of Puppets would be a hot take, but fucking, I don't know. Opinions on that, I guess.
So, I mean, I think really, as an album, it's just great all the way through. I mean, I wouldn't really listen to Innocence Faded.
I fucking hate The Mirror, it's shit.
And The Silent Man, I wouldn't just listen to on its own, but after Voices, I guess it's fine. And then everything else on the album, I fuck with. So, I just, you know, 6 o'clock, I love Corner Web's great. Rotomania's sick, Voice is sick, Mirror, Lie sick. Lifting Shadows Off a Dream I fuck with. Scarred is sick, Space Our Vest is probably one of the most unique Dream Theater songs, whether you like it or not, you know. But I like it, so I just think it's very, very good album.
Okay. Well, just the whole, because I'll start by saying that Dream Theater kind of they have certain musical tendencies throughout every album. And shit in Images and Words sounds quite a bit different to shit in Awake. Not just sonically, but musically. It's like they start, like Portnoy were doing a lot more kind of weird, funky drum beats and shit. I mean, 6 O'Clock's a prime example, and it started maining more of those, I suppose, like 2 and 4 rhythms. I mean, they were doing it quite a bit on Images and Words, I guess, but I suppose this is when it really started, like, calling him his own, just the 2 and 4 on the feet and the hands, like, alternate rhythms and shit. That's when he started, like, making it his own. I fuck with 6 O'Clock. I think it's pretty good. Caught in a Web, I mean, we saw it, we listened to it, we sung it. That's probably the only reason I fuck with it, to be honest. Innocence Faded, I mean, we played it not that long ago, and I still don't remember how it sounds, so that's probably not a good song. Erotomania, pretty fucking good, I like that. I mean, I don't know what my favourite instrumental is, but it's definitely up there. Voices it's basically a Rush song, isn't it?
Is it?
It reminds me of the doom boom 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 doom doom doom. Just that song where they have a kind of a down tempo drum and bass kind of rhythmic jam, and guitars just doing some like atmospheric shit. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Rush. I think it's pretty fucking good actually. It's fun to play. I don't know how fun it is to listen to, but it's definitely fun to play. The Silent Man, the fucking John Mayung national anthem. Weren't that a single?
It had a music video. I don't know.
I remember
it might have been a single with Lie.
I remember seeing it with its own like cover and shit. So I think it might
probably
be a single. The Mirror, it's no fucking surprise to you, but my favourite song off the album. Lie, I do like Lie, but the first fucking like I don't know 3/4 of the song are just not. Like, you're meant to listen to The Mirror and Lie back to back. They're meant to be one joint song, but the only thing that makes Lie conjoined with The Mirror is the ending section where it goes back to The Mirror and you have that whole extended solo section. That's for me, and again, like the chorus, like the chorus is the same and shit, that's cool. But to me, Lie is like just a fun kind of 035 bluesy jam song, and it's got that, weird shit in the middle that still can't count. Lifting Shadows Off a Dream, I don't remember how that sounds. Oh yeah, that would be good. I like that. Sorry, yeah, I like that. Scarred.
That's what you say is bully like that.
The what? Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'd probably rather listen to that than, I don't know, like, Wait for Sleep or something off Images and Words. It's just like another acoustic kind of ballady thing. Space Divest. I listened to the demo version of Space Divest, and it were pretty fucking sick. Like they had all these like weird static things coming in and out, and it was like all these things just
Thing is, I
alternating
think,
and shit.
like, you told me about that, and I'm like, isn't that just in the original song? And then it was, so, like, I think, I don't
Is
know.
it?
Oh, yeah, there's like static and shit, and like voice clips and whatever. I mean, you'd have to re-listen and compare it. But
Well, I do like Space Divest. I like the melody and the piano work. It's not haunting, but it's somber, I guess is the word. And
yeah.
it's very like classical oriented in the intro at least. And the main melody from The Mirror, I'll listen to The Mirror first, and then I'm like, yo, Space Divest copied The Mirror. What the fuck do they think they're doing? But it's like it's the running theme, I guess. That's like the main melody throughout the album. Yeah, I couldn't care less about fucking, you know, Kevin Moore, you know, and his like love lost, paradise lost story or whatever. But good fucking song. I would put Awake in A tier purely because I've not listened to the other songs that I said that I've not listened to, so I can't really say that it's S tier. But I'd definitely put it in A. It's definitely an A tier song, I think. Album.
Well, I guess for my tier list, that was pretty nice. And
I guess low. Yeah, but we can find a middle ground. It's like, okay, it's either high A or low S.
well, I guess we'll just keep in mind that low S.
Right, I'll get it in then. Stick it in.
My cat's right. Next album, the one that everyone loves, everyone's
The
favorite.
load reload of Dream Theater.
Falling into Infinity in 1997. Derek Sherinian on keyboards. James Labrie has a fight with a shrimp and now sounds weird.
It lost the fucking boss battle.
So, you know what? The good songs on this album are pretty different and cool and just good. Like New Millennium, Peruvian Skies, Burning My Soul, Hell's Kitchen, Line, kinda Lines in the Sand. Really kinda like almost not Trail of Tears, but shit like You Not Me, it's kind of cool. It's like You Not Me is kind of just cool and groovy, but you can tell it's just trying to be like a single hit and kind of lacks the soul of it. Take Away My Pain's just whatever fuck you like. It's just take away my pain. Just it just has nothing to it. Hollow Years, it's cool, I guess. Like the live, was it Budokan version or score version? Was cool.
Another one that got a music video.
Yeah, and it's just fucking them like walking around New York and driving in a car and like looking out the window. Annalise fucking shit as well, just another somber like nothing song in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just jumping all over the place a bit. What have I not talked about? Just Let Me Breathe. Another Mike Portnoy. I hate the label song. Kurt Cobain, MTV, whatever he says. The good parts of the album are good. Definitely one. Don't
But
detract.
didn't Cobain die in like 1994 or something? Why is he fucking calling Cobain out?
That's a big question. Well, to be fair, like, didn't they rewrite the album like fucking 3 times? It might have been an old song.
Jesus.
Anyway, I think I would put it. Where would I put it? Because I really like.
C, to be honest.
I think for me, I'd like high C, maybe. What do you think?
I think I could probably agree with that. Because, I mean, it's no fucking secret, it's like you said, it's the Mike Portnoy Hates the Label album, and they had no fucking control, and the label wouldn't let them do Metropolis Part 2, and then we got a much better album, in the next 2 years. I like the idea that it's a more fusion-based, low-down, streamlined album. I like that, again, it's a parallel to Load and Reload, in my opinion, where it's like, okay, they're trying something different, it's not them, but at least they've proved that they can do other things. And you know, anyone that says John Petrucci has no fucking feel, I mean, it's legit based. The function of fusion and shit like that and atmospheric shit is feel. So anyone that says he's got no feel can suck them on. To be honest, I think that it's a decent low down fusion album. I guess. I mean, it's fine. It's got some metal elements, but obviously not as heavy as Awake. I don't think. Nowhere near. And Hell's Kitchen is pretty fucking sick. It's fun to play. It's fun to listen to. It's not. It's not patronising either. I don't think. Like Images and Words can be with the ballads and shit. I think that it's more, I suppose, honest instead of trying to just convey a big message about something. It's just music, and it's like I fuck with that. I appreciate that. So I guess, but it's not a masterpiece, and it's not a amazingly, you know, great album. I think I'd probably agree with. I'd put it in C.
Right, yep, C is about right for me. Then what did I? Okay, Falling to Infinity done. So now here we go.
The album.
The album of all time, Metropolis Part 2. I think.
I don't even think we need to talk about it.
I think from start to finish, if you're listening to it as a concept album, as you should, it's basically flawless, except from maybe a few bits based on personal preference. But as a concept album, I think it's nearly flawless.
Yeah.
If you start like taking the songs apart, yeah, like maybe you wouldn't listen to Regression on its own, or Through Her Eyes, or One Last Time, or Through My Words and shit like that. But when you listen to them in context, they all just make sense and they all fit great. So
Yeah.
the only thing, like, I think I don't know if I've said this to you before. My only thing that I just don't like about Metropolis Part 2, and it's actually my only like criticism, is the Beyond This Life fucking weird, just out of tune shit, like the Jordan Rudess funny moment shit, which was the whole basis for the Budokan, like 10-minute Mike and Jordan solo, which I think I saw someone on the Reddit say the other day that it just sounds like a fucking, like a headless cat running across a keyboard. Which
Well, is it that, or am I getting that fucked up with something else? I know that it's like some weird like trumpet sounding.
And whatever it is. Yeah,
I think it is that.
Yeah, that's the only bit I don't like. But it's like literally a minute section out of the entire 1 hour and 17 minutes. So.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that's easily S tier. Easily.
Yeah. I mean, I've not really got much to fucking say about it, to be honest. Other than that, it's just a good album.
And since now we've got 2 in S tier, I would put it above Awake.
Yeah.
Just because, obviously, like for example, like Innocence Faded, you know, that's just a skip for me. But there's no skips on Metropolis if you're listening to it as a concept album.
No, but I mean that's like a I don't know what's the word. It kind of corners you in that way. If you're listening to a concept album, you can't really skip it, because if you skip a song, you've not got the full experience, and therefore your opinion's invalid.
There's also skipping a song because it's bad, or skipping a song because it's not like Dream Theater, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying like One Last Time isn't Dream Theater, but like if you listen to a Dream Theater playlist, you're not going to listen to Through Her Eyes, are you?
No.
So you're not skipping it because it's a bad song. It's just out of context, and some songs work better out of context than others.
I mean, I'm really curious to know whose idea it were to do like the whole gospel shit. To be honest,
Jordan.
Because like, yeah, well, there you go. I'd be very surprised if it were fucking Porno's. But I mean,
he was the one who orchestrated them all, and all that. Jordan.
I mean, for me, my definitive like Metropolis Part 2 experience was watching the live scenes from New York and just watching that all together, and it was fucking sick, and all the goofy early 2000s visuals that Matt Portnoy put together. And the fucking like the stock images of that fucking some manor in like East Sussex or something, are just like in black and white, and you know, just all that shit. It just made it fun, and it's like own little home directed film. It's like it reminds me of something that I'd fucking do, or like we do, like to try and like, oh man, we should put this together for the album, and then we like get a camcorder and just like run around the field or some shit. Yeah, just that kind of shit. I appreciate that. It's like I don't care if it's like shit and low production value, whatever. It's fun. I like it. So if the whole like experience of Scenes from New York was here, I'd put that as like the definitive best Dream Theater experience, I think. But it's not, and it's just the album. And the detractions for me, compared to the Scenes version, the New York version, sorry, is the drum shit mainly because Mark Portnoy were just fucking. It were just on it that night. You can tell when a drummer's drumming and they're doing the fills, and they're just, you know what? Let me just like throw as many different groupings and rhythms in there as I can to make it as diverse and exciting and unpredictable as I can. And he was dropping little shit like that throughout the fucking entire performance. And I mean, just his outro solo for Finally Free. I mean, obviously it's not the drum solo of all time, but in that context for that album, it just fucking works. And I listened to the studio Finally Free, and I've played it on Clone Era, and it's just nowhere near as exciting. It's just nowhere near as fun to listen to or play. And you know, there's a couple of detractions like that in comparison to the live and the studio version and all that kind of shit. But overall, I'd say it's S tier. Yeah.
Yeah, and would you agree better than Awake?
Probably. I mean, as an experience, better than Awake, but as an album, I think Awake is probably a better album to listen to be honest.
Right.
But overall, better than Awake, I think.
Yeah. So, I think so far, Metropolis is the winner. But moving on, 2002's 6 Degrees of Intemperance.
Metropolis is the winner. Just wait, go on.
I forgot to say Metropolis, Jordan Rudess, Jones Band, whatever, and 1999, whatever. 6 Degrees, 2002. Funny moment. Here we are.
Yeah.
So, I used to not really care for this album that much. But, you know what, like, nearly every song on this album, thinking about it, is great. And again, like, if you listen to 6 Degrees, the song, as a song, like, conceptually, I won't really skip any bits either, even though, you know, like, Goodnight Kiss is fucking fun to a certain extent. Like, straight after Tessa Stumped Them All, and the solo's sick, and how it goes into Solitary Shell. Solitary Shell is just fun.
Every time when it comes to Goodnight Kiss, but I remember reading somewhere that it was the like cheesiest Dream Theater song ever fucking written, and I listened to about 30 seconds of it, and I'm like, yeah, I can buy that.
Yeah, it's definitely cheesy. This fucking cat keeps coming in and out. What do you want?
But I mean, things can be cheesy and still be pretty good.
I mean,
The Matrix
it's great
is cheesy
in a context, and even then, like, I might even choose to listen to Goodnight Kiss on its own. Like, you know, it can stand on its own. Whether it'll fit in my Dream Theater playlist, probably not. But you know, you could easily just listen to it as a song on its own. But Glass Prison, I think, is arguably the best 12-step suite song. Blind Faith, I've told you this a million times. I don't really get the hype. Everyone says it's like one of the best of 6 Degrees. I just don't really get that. It's okay, I guess. Misunderstood, just great debate, amazing. Disappear, I think that's pretty cool, even though it's just kind of slow type song. And then the 6 Degrees song, again great, but Overture, I think, is up there with one of the most like unique songs they've ever done, because it's not even really a song, it's like a score for a soundtrack, which I guess it was supposed to be. About to Crash is great, one of my favourites. One Side My Head is one of the, you know, big heavy moment of the actual song. Desert Something More is pretty, like, just prog, funny moments. Really good song. Goodnight Kiss, I've already said. Solitary Shell. Funny little autism song. It's just fun to listen to, I guess. And About to Crash Reprise, not as good as the original, but still good. Losing Time Grand Finale is only bad because if you took it out of context, you're like listening to the final note of the album for like 2 minutes straight.
It's only bad because the album ends, to be
Yeah.
honest.
But Losing Time, it stands on its own, it's good. But it does feel like a closer rather than a song, but it also closes the album. It feels like its purpose was to close, which I guess it was. But other than that, I think easily at least an A for me.
I agree. I think that for me, 6 Degrees was like, okay, cool. We're coming off the back of the biggest album we've ever done, and it's a massive concept album, and worldwide phenomenon, sensational, blah blah blah, whatever. But I feel as though Portnoy wanted to kind of get a bit grittier because I guess they just grew tired of being the high concept, highbrow Dream Theater, the very, sophisticated, handlebar mustache musicians that they'd been, I suppose, seen as with, the concept album. So I guess they wanted to do a grittier version of like a concept album. The concept itself, I appreciate, deeply, but I don't appreciate the way that they did it. They seem to sing more about mental health and objectify it and make it this kind of like, why don't we try shock treatment fucking, goofy shit. They make it goofy, as Dream Theater do. So I don't take any of that shit seriously, but just from songs, The Glass Prison, fucking great opening, and a great song. Blind Faith, I agree, it didn't seem like one of them songs that would be hyped up, because when you told me that, damn, it's like one of the songs that everyone rates, I don't see why. It doesn't seem like one of them songs that would be rated, so that were a bit surprising. I genuinely don't remember how Misunderstood sounds. Great Debate, I play it quite a bit on fucking Clone Era. It's pretty fun, and it's a great song. Disappear, I really do fuck with the piano shit in the intro, and then it kind of switches to acoustic guitar. I switch off, but the piano comes back, so that's cool. And then the second half of 6 Degrees, I've not listened to in full, but I've listened to bits and pieces. War Inside My Head is fucking Bowser Jr.'s Airship Armada, fucking. It's like the fuck, it's like boss battle thing. Test That Stumped Them All is again goofy, but very fun to play on drums. It's a decent song. I do quite like it, and obviously the main is it like a rhythm of 10? Pretty fucking cool. Goodnight Kiss, pure Wensleydale cheese. And then the Spectrum soundtrack, Solitary Shell. That's just fun. It's just funny. I don't know. It's just funny. About to Crash, don't remember. And I've not listened to Losing Time Grand Finale. And another thing I've noticed about this album, they're kind of doing a lot of Tool shit. You just listen to, Great Debate. You hear a lot of the rhythms that Portnoy's using. It's a lot of group, it's like it's a lot of sevens, it's a lot of fucking, stops and starts. It reminds me a lot of 46 and 2, just that kind of frenetic, schizo, prog metal kind of shit that's really upbeat and energetic. Really reminds me of 46 and Tool. 46 and Tool, yeah, man. I think it's a fucking good album, to be honest. It's like their take on like the kind of new metal gritty shit from the early 2000s. That's how I see it. Other than the next album that we're going to talk about, but I suppose this is like a precursor to that. So I'd say A.
Yeah. Now because I've got Images and Words in here, you would say it's better than Images and Words?
Fuck. I would definitely rather listen to it than Images and Words, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's better, does it?
Because there's 2 easy skips from beyond Images and Words. But also you could say, I'm going to skip Blind Faith and Goodnight Kiss and Solitary Shell and maybe Disappear. You're already at like 4 there, so but then again it does have like way more songs.
It depends how we're defining it. Is it a better album because... Is Images and Words better than 6 Degrees because I've skipped more songs on 6 Degrees? I don't know,
Because, yeah, I could skip songs on the second disc, but listen to it all in one. I won't skip any of it. And like the song itself, 6 Degrees, has sort of become one of my favourite, not the favourite, but one of my favourite Dream Theater songs. And then the first disc is great. So, but again, Pull Me Under and like Metropolis and shit like that is like basically untouchable, really.
Yeah.
But then again, that's just 2 songs.
I mean, I can't really help you with this, to be honest, because now it's just getting down to preference. So,
I
mean, I would rather listen to 6 Degrees, I think.
I'm gonna say, like, I think 6 Degrees is more consistent. It doesn't have as many timeless classics, even though it does have Glass Prison and shit like that. I don't think Great Debate is like a classic, is it? It's just a really good song.
It's just a really good song,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the only Dream Theater classic from 6 Degrees is Glass Prison.
I suppose, yeah.
You know, just like a staple. But I do think 6 Degrees as an album is more well-rounded and better structured. So, you know what? I'll put it above Images and Words.
There's no way you just fucking did that, man. The controversial Dream Theater album, you put it about... Fucking fuck people, to be honest. I'm sorry, but I'd just rather listen to 6 Degrees. I don't know. I just think it's a better album.
Right, moving on. 2003's Train of Thought.
Wow. So I'll do like the background ambience and shit. No worries.
So, obviously, they loved playing shit like Glass Prison, and the audience loved it too, so they thought, you know, make a whole album out of it, and that's what they did. So we've got As I Am, which is as much as
really.
yeah, I'm gonna say as much as of a like generic metal song it has become a Dream Theater staple, and it is a fucking great song, even if it
As
is,
I am, yeah.
even if
It's
it is
just
simple for Dream Theater's, you know, like repertoire. As I Am is sick. This Dying Soul, I used to not really care for, or especially in relation to other 12-step suite songs, but I think it's pretty good. It does get a bit like manic in some places and a bit hard to follow, but
The outro is just weird.
Endless Sacrifice, people rate this song, I've found out as well, like recently. Like they think, people think it's one of the best.
Nah.
But I think it's just like a blatant Sanitarium clone, and there's not really much going on.
I do like the chorus. I do like the guitar squeals with the hi-hat and shit like that. And I mean, I guess the main vocal melody is catchy, but it's not like, you know, the words of God. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Other than that, fuck with it.
Honor Thy Father, which some people say is like one of the worst off the album.
Well, they can get fucked, can't they, and dislike this video.
People, right, so I think with Endless Sacrifice, people either love it or hate it. It's either the best or the worst, and Honor Thy Father is the same, like you either hate it or you love it. And Honor Thy Father for me, and I think you as well, you know, it's like, I think it's probably one of the best on the album.
I'd probably say it is, to be honest, yeah.
Just great song. I mean, yeah, the Regrets bit does go on for a long, which is one of the main criticisms. It just goes on for way too long, blah blah blah. I get that, but I still think it's sick. Vacant is a cool little opening to Stream of Consciousness. Taken out of context, I probably
James LeBrie is in a coma, that's all it is.
Pretty much. It's like the one solemn moment on the album. It's cool, I guess. I get, you know, especially in relation to Stream of Consciousness. On Stream of Consciousness, it's a pretty good instrumental. I won't say the best. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, what can you even say about Stream of Consciousness?
It's the instrumental off a Train of Thought, and it kinda takes the same themes that other songs do from the rest of the album. It's a very kinda weird, kinda, I suppose, Egyptian minor scale kind of thing. I mean, aside from the just the main theme of the intro and the song overall is not in that vein. I don't think it's in the vein of anything from the rest of the album. But when you get into the proggy shit in the middle, it gets very kind of, I suppose, oriental is the word. I don't know.
Yeah, you were saying the other day, weren't you, that it don't really stand out from the rest of the album, does it? Like, for example, Erotomania, whatever. I think it helps build the style of Awake and just establish itself, but I think Stream of Consciousness kind of builds on what's already there instead of becoming part of the foundation.
You know? Erotomania has character.
Yeah.
Stream of Consciousness, I don't really think has that much going for it.
Still great though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And In the Name of God, again, loads of people rate this song, and I don't know if you do, but I think it's one of the weaker songs of the album. I think it just don't click for me. But it's still good. I just don't think it's as great as people say it is. But it's still good.
Right. Let me start off by I'll just go through shit again briefly. Again, yeah, like you said, it was the metal album, the Dream Theater metal album. Portnoy were listening to a lot of Metallica and shit by then. I mean, they even did they did Master of Puppets live and shit like that.
Yeah,
and it probably,
shit like that.
yeah. And it must have been listening to a lot of Megadeth because that section in This Dying Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I am, blatant Metallica wannabes, but still a fucking good song. That don't detract from it. It's still good. They chose, listen, if you're gonna copy someone that's good, right? And they fucking did. This Dying Soul, I used to really like it, and then I didn't like it so much, and now I found an equilibrium. I've gone between the two extremes, and now I'm in the middle. It's a pretty decent song. It's pretty fun. I really fuck with just the middle sections and just when it actually gets into it. The intro is fun. I like the intro with the band doing all the Tom shit. That's really fun. Actually getting into it when it goes into is it 3? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's in 3. When it actually gets into it, it's really fun to play, and the way that Portnoy shifts the rhythms around to complement the actual click, it's pretty fucking cool. The outro gets a bit mad though. They start like doing some super fast, like I guess it starts playing like a kind of thrash beat, and it's
Trash beat.
yeah, it's really a trash beat to be honest, because it's not. I don't know. It just gets mad at the end for no reason, and that's it. Then that's the end. Endless Sacrifice. I used to really like it, and now I don't, because I've realised again how blatant a rip-off of Sanitarium it is. I guess, Mark Portnoy just one day said, "Joe, we need to do something like Sanitarium," and Petrucci came up with a riff, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll do that. But unlike Sanitarium, the post-chorus section and the whole instrumental section after the main verse-chorus shit is just kinda nowhere near as good as Sanitarium. If it were as good as Sanitarium, I'd consider it a formidable adversary, but it's just not. Honor Our Father, I would say, is my favourite song off the album. I mean, objectively, the best, although you can't really say objectively, but I would say it's the best song off the album. The intro is great. The way that the rhythms shift again in the intro, fucking sick. Just the it's like it's Portnoy's diss track. I suppose it's a Portnoy diss track, and that's him trying to be all edgy and fucking, yeah, I'm metal now, bitch, wanna do something. It's cool. I like it. Vacant, James LeBrie ballad, that's all it is. How long is it? It's like 2 minutes or something. Yeah, not really a song for me, more like a pause in between Honor Our Father and Stream of Consciousness. Stream of Consciousness, good, but again, like you said, it just kind of blends into the rest of the album. In the Name of God, I used to fucking love. I used to think it was one of the best songs off the album. And then I grew a brain and realised it's not that good, and it's kind of pretentious, and they've kind of blown it up to a level. They think that by repeating the same grandiose chorus and melodies over and over again that it's going to increase its meaning or give it something to say other than religion is bad, don't do it. I mean, it's still a good song, and I do like it, but it's not the masterpiece that I once thought it were. So the album overall, I think I would put Oh shit, this is hard. Because I don't really listen to all of Train of Thought, to be honest. I don't sit down and listen to all of Train of Thought.
But the thing is, I would still say it's like A, but then again, we are kind of clogging up A tier a lot.
I was gonna put it in A instinctively, but do I think that Images and Words is better than Train of Thought? What would I rather listen to? It's a fucking no-brainer. I would rather listen to Train of Thought. But
I think Train of Thought is a really solid, like, all the way listen. Like, even if you don't, like, I don't really like it on the Sacrifice, but I still think it's one of the best listen throughs in Dream Theater's catalogue of just listening through all the way through.
right, we're pushing as lucky, Mush. Like, Train of Thought better than Images and Words. Are you fucking stupid? To be honest, no, I'm just gonna be honest. I think I would rather listen to Train of Thought than Images and Words. To be
I
honest,
think there's some songs, well, obviously there's some songs on Images and Words that I'd rather listen to other than Train of Thought, but we're ranking albums and not individual songs here.
I said we should have done songs, but then we would have been here all fucking night.
You know, I was saying, oh, let's just get albums out of the way really quick, and here we are. Oh, I don't know how long this recording is.
Yeah, because we have a TED talk about
45
every album
minutes.
before we have a TED talk about every album before we get to the fucking point. To be honest,
We're 7 albums in and we've got 8 albums left. Oh, no.
listen, we'll speed run the last ones. It's
Yeah,
okay.
there's some that we're just going to speed through because, yeah. Right. So, yeah, I think Train of Thought goes above Images and Words below 6 degrees.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So, that's where we put that. Next album, 2005's Octavarium.
Let's not give like the entire backstory to it. I mean, even though there's more story to this than Train of Thought, let's just like we'll just.
Oh, a few little facts and glitches.
Oh, top 10. I'm autistic. Get on with it.
I think it's the first album to actually include an orchestra, isn't it? Yeah, because they use a real orchestra for Octavarium in the song. I don't know if they use it for any other tracks, but yeah. So, see, again, those people love this album, and again, I think as a listen through, it is pretty good. I won't say as good as Train of Thought, even though it's supposed to be like the best listen through, like all in one listen through, because obviously it's half concept album. It's not fully a concept album, but
There's an idea. There's a theme.
Yeah.
I'd say it's got.
The Root of All Evil, even though it's one of the most straightforward 12-step sweet songs, I think just hits really fucking hard. Again, really, really simple, but whatever. It goes hard for me. And Still Lies Within, couldn't care less about. These Walls, it's okay, I guess. I Walk Beside You, fuck that off. Panic Attack, again, I think. I mean, again, I don't really think it, but it actually is like a Dream Theater staple. It's like I think it's in the top 3 most popular songs they've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great song.
I mean, they've got even like not non-Dream Theater fans listening to it, so they've obviously done something right.
Never Enough is cool, I guess. Yeah, it's good. Sacrifice Sons is basically just In the Presence of Enemies before that even came out.
Still the 9/11 song.
Yeah. And Octavarium, the song, arguably one of the best songs I've ever written. Just absolutely great. Ties the whole thing together, but even with like out of context, you could still enjoy this very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the narrative and the theme of the song does rely on the rest of the album. But I think, yeah, again, great listen through all the way through, but there are some stinkers like I Walk Beside You and Still Lies Within I can't really care less about. Like, to be honest, probably if we ignore When Dream and Day Unite and maybe Fall Into Infinity from actually I was going to say from this year to this year, but then it won't make sense with Falling Into Infinity. But what we've got in S tier and A tier, like Still Lies Within and I Walk Beside You, are the worst out of these 6 albums. Like, genuine, like, stinkers, to be honest. Which is the first in a long time for Dream Theater. So, for me, it's either B or C. But what do you think?
I agree with most of what you said. aside from Root of All Evil, it does go pretty fucking hard, but not. It's not like it's not like Titanically massive. For
Well,
me.
no, I don't. But it's still, I think it's pretty fucking
Answer Lies Within. So I fuck that off. These Walls. Don't really remember. I Walk Beside You. Ain't that the fucking bum 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 bum? It's got the fucking the tick tock tick tock. Panic Attack. Fucking great. Play it a lot. Never Enough. That's like the Muse song. Pretty fucking cool. Sacrifice Sons. I watched a video of Portnoy playing that and listened to the song, like the drum cam, and the bit where it actually kind of like gets into it, it's pretty good. But yeah, no. Octavarium is it's the song, it's the album. It's a fucking great song. It's mad, and then they start doing their influences and shit, and you know they kind of tell a story with it. It's pretty fucking good. But for me, this album, I don't know. It's weird. It's not bad, and everyone calls it a masterpiece. But I just look at it, and I just don't. I don't see that. I listen to it, I don't hear that. So, I suppose, yeah, B or C. I'd say it's there with Falling Into Infinity, to be honest. Maybe a bit better.
I think very, very high C.
Yeah.
Because looking at the albums we've got left, there's one that I'm looking at that would slot perfectly into B balance part.
Plus, it's got balls on the cover.
I do think it was really smart how it actually lined up, it being the 8th album, and they'd already done 4 or 5 live albums, so it like completed the 12 fucking octave whatever. Which is like how much more Dream Theater can you get of like just forward thinking and just like your mind being exploded and shit. So the concept / not a concept, it's not a concept album, the theme, you know, is big brain energy, really fucking cool. Yep. The album, I think I'm just gonna place it right here, high C.
Big fucking brain album. Alright, done, dusted, next.
So, here we are. The album, Systematic Chaos 2007. Yeah, it's an album. In the Presence of Enemies. Well, I'll talk about part 1 first, but I think one of the best openings to an album they've done. I mean, there's a lot of good openings for Dream Theater, but I think this is up there. We like As I Am, maybe Glass Prison, well, maybe a bit less, but 6 o'clock, you know, maybe Nearly Pulmonary. It's a very, very good opening, I think, in the Presence of Enemies part 1. Forsaken. Some people just kind of hate this song, and I just think for what it is, it's pretty good. It's a very, very straight. It's like one of the most straightforward songs we've done, but I think it's still good. I think it's good. Well, even better than good. Constant Motion. Yeah, very, very cool song. As you go further into the album, you kind of realise how much Matt Portnoy has to fucking say about everything. And this song included, and it's basically a song, I'm guessing. So, Dark Eternal Night. It's just funny little heavy moment, but like it's just.
No, it's not even funny. You do realise it's genuinely trying. He's genuinely taking.
But this is what I mean. I was going to say that I think that there was like literally a genuine disconnect between what they were going for and what came out.
Yeah.
Because they thought they were onto fucking something. And even when I watched the documentary of making it, and like Matt Portnoy, I think, is struck gold with doing his fucking like overdubbing vocals and him doing like the deeper shit. And he's like, "Oh, we should have been doing this years ago, man." And it's like,
yeah, I remember that.
I mean, I guess the idea of those vocals is cool. But you really think that you've struck gold here, but you haven't.
What the terrible danger? A manger. Mary had a baby in the manger. Fucking shut up.
And then the last bit of the song where it's just random riff that
yeah, they just really think that's a bad man thing.
And it is, yeah, it's a heavy riff, like objectively. But you put it at the end of a somewhat mediocre song, and you expect a reaction, and Like, it just don't fit, really. I mean,
It
it's
just
cool.
reminds me of what we used to do. It's like, it's really not that ever, but we treat it as if it's the moon collapsing on the earth.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that ever, but you know what? If we treat it as it is, then other people will say the same.
Overall, it's listenable, but they really missed the mark on what they were trying to go for. Repentance, the only somber and just still moment for 12 Step Suite, which I used to kind of fucking hate and just not listen to at all. But I appreciate it more. You know, if you listen to the whole 12 Step Suite, you realise that it is just constant balls to the wall shit, and you kind of need something like this. And it is way too long. I think we can agree. But getting all the fucking metal musicians like whatever his name is from Opeth, Michael Skarsgård, whatever his fucking name is, Dave Ellefson, fucking all these different people.
Did you realise the only reason that it did that is so that people like us could go on like Songwiki and read a fact about how Matt Portnoy got on? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all it is.
Because I mean, he got people in studio to do the chants for like Dark Eternal Night and Prophets of War and all that shit in Friends of Enemies. But you tell me like none of them could do like the spoken word shit, like just in the background. Why do they have to like message all these metal artists?
Yo, you want to collab, big man?
So I think it's cool, but way too long. Yeah, Prophets of War, big miss right here. Just yeah. Again, disconnect. They thought they were really on something, and they just weren't. Finish Your Lost Souls is cool. Again, too long and a bit too wankery in the fucking prog bit, like, you know, the actual instrumental bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just don't really fit the song. It's cool for Dream Theater, obviously, but like, it's just like, it don't really fit. And then In the Presence of Enemies Part 2, which some people say is better than Part 1, which I would say yes if you listen to the album and or you're listening to 1 to 2 back to back. But as a song on its own, I don't think it is. But it is great. But they are a bit like up their own arse in the metal sense of, you know, dark master within. Like, they really think, I keep really saying that, they really think they want something. But it's to a lesser extent on that because it actually kind of is fucking heavy and it is a big payoff at the end of the album and it does fit more than what Dark Eternal Night and Prophets of War did. So I'll give them that. I'll give them a bit of slack. And it is a very good song. So, you know, I never thought I'd see the day, but yeah, I like this more than fucking like Octavarium. It's just, the songs are more consistent. But again, there are some real stinkers, but again, there are on Octavarium, so. You know, I mean, for me, I'd say a B.
Right.
What do you think?
Let me just preface this by saying that this was the album where they'd gone so far up their arse that they started to come out of their own fucking mouth. And this was when Dream Theater could do no wrong because we're fucking prog musicians and we can write time signatures in more numbers than you can count and we're just gonna go mad and whatever we write it'll be fine because it's us and we can do no wrong. In the Presence of Enemies Part 1, I've not actually listened to In the Presence of Enemies Divided. I've listened to the whole song, a live performance, and I've enjoyed it. I thought it were pretty good. The Dark Master Within shit, I thought, you know what, that's pretty like metal. That's like a more, I suppose it's more I don't know, it just don't feel authentic. It feels really forced. Just Dark Master Within. It's like Matt Portnoy just come up with like the worst, like the most provocative words he could think of, and he came up with Dark Master.
I would agree.
But
I do think it pays off listening to it split up, but I do get where you're coming from if you just listen to it the first time, like all the way through, just part 1 and 2.
I really did fuck with the I forgot how the rhythm goes. It's like da 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 da. Yeah. All that shit is pretty fucking cool. Forsaken. I used to really like Forsaken, and then I didn't, and I suppose now I do again. It is very simple, and it's the story. It's the story about a vampire taking John Petrucci off, and it basically lived his fantasy through a song, and hoped his wife would never listen to it. But I do like the whole kind of. It's got a gothic vibe to it a little bit. It's pretty good. Constant Motion's just fun. It's just fun. It's just a fun song. I don't take it too seriously. But obviously it's a Mark Portnoy fuckfest, and he's just ranting and raving about the 10,000 burdens that are on his shoulders. And I mean, you chose to be in a band. Get over it, to be honest. But it's a good song. I like it. And the mid section, like the whole instrumental section with the boom, 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 boom on the drums, it just gets fucking insane, dude. And trying to keep up with that on Rock Band is really fucking hard. I can't even imagine trying to play it like actually. Dark Eternal now just comes off to me as just so inauthentic and just cringe and forced and just was so fucking heavy, and it's literally like as light as a feather. To be honest, in my opinion, it's like they didn't know what were happening in the metal scene at the time. Like bands like fucking, Slipknot are like releasing like the third album at that point, and it's like, damn. I'm not saying Slipknot's like the heaviest shit known to man, but it's an easy comparison for the time. Repentance, again, I didn't used to fuck with it. I found it repetitive and slow and dragging, but I can listen to it as like a minor scale kind of redux of or a reimagining of This Dying Soul, because that's what it is, really, to be honest. Which I like that. I like the idea of taking an already existing song and redoing it. Not Black in 2020. Not Black in 2020. Prophets of War. I'm pretty sure that's like universally agreed as the most cringe song on the album. To be honest, other than Dark Eternal Night. And I've definitely listened to it, but I don't remember it, and that's always a good sign. Ministry of Lost Souls, I used to really like, then I didn't, and now I do again. That's the case with a lot of these songs, isn't it? I do like the whole kind of dreamy, like flanger effect that he's got on his guitar, and the kind of, I don't know. It's not somber. It's just kind of, I suppose, like peacefully haunting. I guess I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. But I like Ministry of Lost Souls. Apart from the prog bit, that's a bit fucked. And it goes on for like 15 minutes.
What is it? 12. Oh my god.
Copyright strike done.
Oh yeah, 14 minutes, 50. I didn't even realise. I thought it was like 12.
Yeah, 15 fucking minutes of that shit. It's a good melody, but you can only fucking, drag it out for so long before it gets long. And in the presence of Enemies Part 2, again, I haven't listened to the divided parts, but pretty good song overall. See, we have to actually think about what we're doing here. Are we going to put Systematic Chaos above Octavarium and Fallen into Infinity? Actually, yeah, that's not really that hard. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's
I'm looking at what's like in the pot, and it's just like, nah, that's easy actually.
Yeah. So do we both agree that's like an easy B?
I think so. I think I've said better things about albums before that have come below. I think I've probably said better things about what's it called, Falling into Infinity than Systematic Chaos. But again, fuck the explanations. It's a tier list, right? I would put Systematic Chaos above Falling into Infinity and Octavarium. So
right, on to the last Mike Portnoy album, Black Clouds and Silver Linings, 2009.
I'm bored.
So, A Nightmare to Remember. I used to think too long, kind of just all over the place. Now I find it okay. It's still too long and just too all over the place, but it's fine, I guess. A Rite of Passage, fuck that off. It's just, it's just a bad version of Home, kinda. But even then, I don't know. With I guess I've come to like it a bit more, but even then, it's still, I don't know. It's cool, I guess, until
Paul Portnoy left the band, the song.
Yeah. Just nothing really great to say about it, but it's okay. Shattered Fortress, I used to really like it, and then it's just, I think I still do stand by that it was like a great way to end off the whole suite. People say it relies too much on repeated sections, but I think that were only right. because, you know, how better to close a suite by like bringing you through the most significant parts of it and bringing it all together. I think it was still a great way to end it off. I don't think it's as good as I thought it was, but it's still good in my opinion. Best of Times, I kind of feel shit for shitting on it because Mike bought my dad's song, but
Fuck that. It's the song.
it's just it's okay. It's maybe a bit less than okay. It's okay. It's okay. And then Count of Tuscany, which to some extent I do think is overrated, but when we saw it live and John Petrucci was doing his fucking like 30-minute guitar shit behind that fucking like dreamy fucking backdrop of like green fields and shit, I kind of get it. Like, wow, it is dreamy and just kind of beautiful in that way. And I do need to listen to it more, admittedly. But Count of Tuscany, we'll say it's good for now because I know that it has some worth, even if I haven't like discovered it fully yet. What do you think?
Well, again, like I did for Systematic Chaos, a little preface and some minor gripes. So, obviously, the last album. I feel like Portnoy were just really phoning it in here, to be honest. I feel like he were doing the bare minimum to get by, like songwriting wise and on drums. I feel as though his drum parts, he were just phoning it in. He were just reusing a lot of his old techniques and tropes and his 2 and 4, 6 and 2, 4 and 6 combinations between hands and feet. The Mark Portnoy cliche. Yeah, I just felt they were phoning it in. You don't realise how boring it actually is until you play it on something like Clone Hero. Or try and learn it. And a Nightmare to Remember, it seems as though it's just doing the bare minimum to get by. There's no underlying cool rhythms or rhythmic shifts. I mean, I guess there are, but they're not really as cool as they were on previous albums. Now it's just like, oh, Mark Portnoy is just doing Mark Portnoy. But yeah, I'll get on with it. A Nightmare to Remember. Pretty fucking... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I used to like it, but then I just kind of saw it as like a clone of a song that didn't exist yet, which is, you know, Nightmare. It's got that kind of theme to it, the whole like kid lullaby vibe and nightmares, and it's about John Petrucci and his family in a car crash or whatever. But I mean, hey, I really like the cymbal choke that it does going into the first verse, so that's cool, I guess. A Rite of Passage is just the nothing song of this album, in my opinion. Even Wither's got more going for it. Just the fucking... I can hear it in my head. Hold on. Like, and they open with it like it's the riff of all time, and it's the riff of the song, but it's just... It just feels more like a secondary riff or an alternate riff. Metallica did that a lot in Load and Reload. They took riffs that should have been like a secondary riff or an alternate riff and made it the main riff of the song. And it just came off as just hollow and just empty. And that's, you know, that's Rite of Passage for me. Wither, at least has got something going for it. It's got a decent melody and a decent vocal structure, but it kinda is a bit too touchy-feely without adding anything to it. It's just a touchy-feely sentimental song. And I'm not insensitive, I'm just saying that without adding any extra dynamic to it, touchy-feely, shitty little songs, I just don't fuck with. But that's just me. You might find some meaning in it if you're 14 and have just lost your first love. I don't know. Shattered Fortress, used to fuck with it a little bit. But it's just... I understand what you mean about, you know, it bringing all its elements and themes together from over the years and closing it in that way. And it's like, yeah, that is the function of the 12-step suite. They have running themes that evolve over time. The issue with Shattered Fortress is that it didn't add much new to it. So other songs always did, Glass Prison, even Root of All Evil. But Shattered Fortress just kinda did a really repetitive intro that went on for like 2 minutes without much variation or depth to it, or adding anything on top of it. And then we just went back to fucking the I mean, yeah, alright, it brought the themes together, but it didn't really build on them in a way that made it its own thing. It's just the closing of the 12-step suite.
I mean, I
That's
think
it.
the responsible bit, you know, I am responsible. Like, that's like a new part. I think that's like one of the highlights of the song.
I mean, I get it. Matt Portnoy's, you know, writing down is repenting for his sins and blah 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 blah. But every fucking song he writes, damn, I have now seen the light and I get it now and I'm gonna stop being the way that I am. And you know, he writes that every song and fucking, you know, 6 years down the line, is still writing them same fucking things. And it's just like at that point, it's like, all right, so you've not learned your lesson, you've not changed. It's just, I don't know. The theme kind of gets lost in the fact that nothing has changed. Best of times, it's about his dad dying, but I remember just switching off while listening to it, to be honest. It's just, I do not remember a single thing about it, and that's always a good sign. Count of Tuscany, pretty cool. I mean, it's fine, and I mean, I remember liking the I wanna stay alive, but I remember it being catchy and sticking in my head, but that don't necessarily mean it's good, that just means that it's like a tapeworm. It just gets inside you. Again, I do like the jumper shooter shit. That's pretty fucking, like, the 30-minute extended guitar solo and shit. That's cool. But the main theme of the song is basically, damn, I went to Tuscany, met a weird guy, and thought he was gonna kill me.
Well,
And
it's another vampire story, isn't it?
I suppose, but it's, I don't know. I remember listening to it while we were at, you know, O2, and I liked it, but I was like, damn, this is the Count of Tuscany. This is the song that everyone hypes up from Black Clouds. It's like, it's good, and it obviously still appears, it's still in rotation for a reason. It is a good song, but it's not the song of all time for me. It's just a song that is okay. If it were a bit shorter and had a reason to be, or if it were a bit shorter or it had a reason to be as long as it is, then I'd maybe fuck with it, but nah. I think Black Clouds deserves a low C, high D.
I was thinking that, because I think on my first run through, like just talking about it, I was like, you kind of don't realise how mid all the songs are, except from a few.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very, very mid album, and that don't really happen for Dream Theater. So,
I mean, the high points, it's always a good sign when the high points of Black Clouds are like the midpoints of 6 Degrees.
yeah.
Or any other album comparison.
Because,
It's
like,
just,
would I rather listen to Fall Into Infinite? Because, like, I think the high points of Fall Into Infinite are higher than fucking Black Clouds. Like, New Millennium, Burning My Soul, Hell's Kitchen. I'm forgetting, but like, what have you got on Black Clouds? Like, maybe a Nightmare to Remember. That's not really a high point. Shattered Fortress, maybe. Count of Tuscany, I guess. That's about it.
I mean, I think we've been very generous with praises for this album, to be honest,
Yeah.
because there's not much going on.
I think
D. I think we just
Yeah.
put it in D.
I was thinking D.
Fuck it, chuck it in there, get
Chuck
it
it in D. Better than When Dream Day and Night, but
Yeah. I mean, anything's better than Jim doing it, I guess, in most people's eyes.
right. So that's the last of the Portnoy shit, and this is where you kind of become just a
Obsolete.
spectator.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I can say is that the astonishing goes in us tier.
Yeah.
And I know that, a dramatic turn of events, people like that. People hate the production on the self-titled. Don't know about Distance Over Time, and I don't really know about A View from the Top of the World. That's it.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna go really quick over these because there's no point getting into a big debate with myself. So, Matt Portnoy leaves the band. In comes Mike Mangini in 2001. A dramatic turn of events. It literally was. What the hell?
What the hell?
Unironically, this is better than Black Clouds.
I could buy that, to be honest, because a lot of people said it.
On the Backs of Angels, I mean, you've heard that.
Good. I like that.
Build Me Up, Break Me Down is kind of cool. Last Not Forgotten is kind of wankery, but it's cool. This Is Alive is kind of cool. Bridges in the Sky, have you heard that?
Actually, can we pause this while I listen to the remainder of every Dream Theater album? And then I'll get back to you.
Can't trust me, just came on as I'm fucking moving away from it. Clouds. Outcry I used to find really cool, but it's kind of just wankery to me now. Far From Heaven, I didn't really fuck with. Have you heard of Breaking All Illusions?
I have. I think they did a tour like under that name, didn't they? Or like
Yeah,
a
something
big
like
show or some shit like that.
that. It's basically their Images and Words song on this album. It's like kind of like Learning to Live, but again, I know you won't really listen to that much.
Mm-mm.
Breaking All Illusions is cool. Beneath the Surface I won't mad about. You know what, yeah. Again, I'll kind of try and quickfire it. Better than Black Clouds, definitely. As a Dream Theater album, what you expect from Dream Theater, yes, it would be better than Fall Into Infinity. But, you know what, I'm just going to put it low C, below Fall Into Infinity.
Hard disagree.
I know that literally everyone, like for everyone, this is like the best Mangini album. But like, I'm definitely not listening to most of the songs off this more than the songs of Fall Into Infinity. And definitely not Octavarium. Again, I really need to listen to it more, so it should be in the house and listen enough. But I've listened to it enough times to form an opinion. So for me, it goes in low C. Dream Theater self-titled, Dream Theater 12 or whatever it's called. Quite a bad album. They literally just resort to literally being Rush, not even like trying to imitate them. They just like want to be Rush, which hasn't happened since When Dream a Day Night. Really weird and kind of weak opener. Is it Enigma Machine or is it Illumination? I'm kind of forgetting.
I think it's Illumination Theory.
Oh no, it's False Awakening Suite, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was fucking Enigma Machine because that's like a mid-album. Is that the instrumental?
Maybe.
There's like an instrumental on that album where people say, "Yo, that's Mangini's like best drum."
Yeah, actually, yeah, it is Enigma Machine. What were I going to say? Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say 2013. Yeah, cool. Illumination Theory is one of the only post 2010 Dream Theater epics, like over 20 minutes, and it's just very, very disjointed and unsatisfactory and real. False Awakening Suite is just kind of weird. It's Enemy Inside is one of the best Mangini songs and rivals some Portnoy songs. Like, it's a very, very good song in my opinion. Looking Glass, Enigma Machine, Behind the Veil, 23's, Along for the Ride. It's just a very meh album, and it just gets kind of bad in some places. So, Enemy Inside is absolutely great, and you know what? It rivals like some songs off Black Clouds. Like, I might rather listen to Shattered Fortress, to Enemy Inside over like Shattered Fortress or something.
I'm
It's
just
that good
saying,
at
y'all, that FT is looking a bit barren, you know.
Yeah, but I've got an album for that. Would I rather listen to When Dream a Day Now or Dream Theater 12? It's kind of hard. I know it wouldn't be for some people, but like,
To be honest, I'd rather listen to this.
it's still fun.
It'll
So-
always be.
That is really hard. Would I rather listen to When Dream a Day Now or Self-Titled?
I'm just thinking we should have done a fucking Metallica tier list, because then I would be able to be credible on every fucking album.
Right, you know what? I'm putting When Dream a Day Unite over fucking Dream Theater Self-Titled. Because
See that even at the worst, Mangini still gets fucked.
I can listen to quite a few songs off When Dream a Day Unite happily. Even though it's not real Dream Theater, there's only really one good song on Dream Theater 12. I mean, it is a very, very good song and beats nearly every song off When Dream a Day Unite. Probably every song. But one song's not enough to go up against like 6 or whatever, however many good songs are on When Dream a Day Unite. And I don't mean good like, oh, the great, I mean like the overpassable, the like, you know, this is good. So you know what, low D for Dream Theater 2013. Now we go on to everyone's favourite album, 2016's The Astonishing.
Well, I've already put it in S tier above Metropolis, so
On a real note, I've only listened to this once, but it is 2 hours. It's just not really. It's not. Again, this is them thinking they've struck gold, and they could have been
again,
further away from the mark. Like, I must say some positives. Like, James Bree does a really good job. It sounds good, except from when his fucking auto-tune's not fucking up.
and he had to do 12 characters, man. Whoa.
He did a good job. That's all I can say. He did a good job. The story is just 2112, but not as good. There's quite a few plot holes as well. So even as a concept album, it didn't even serve its purpose. So
How can you criticise an album's plot holes? To be honest.
So F, easy F tier. Just not it. No desire to really go back to it. And even the songs that I have picked out, kind of out of context to listen to, they're still kind of just poisoned and with the astonishing. Just like they're still trying to fit into the astonishing album and just way too operatic. Yeah, just not it really.
If they removed every song off the album, apart from The Gift of Music and The Descent of the Nomax, S2.
True, can't argue. The only album I'm going to put, actually no, I'm going to put Distance Over Time in Haven't Listened Enough because it's the one that I haven't actually listened to. I've listened to like, what is it? It's S2N, Untethered Angel, Fall Into the Light. That's it. I only listened to 3 tracks, and you know what? They're all cool. S2N I've kind of fallen out with. It's just not as cool as I once thought it was.
Had a difference of opinion.
And plus, why is it called S2N? Like, the chorus says signal to noise or whatever. So why not call it signal to noise instead of S2N?
Because they needed to do something different with the song titles, man. That's just
Untethered Angel I really used to fuck with, but I just, took a second look and it really was just kind of generic. Fall Into the Light, I haven't listened to in a while. I was going to put it in Haven't Listened Enough. That was 2019, by the way, and 2021's A View from the Top of the World. Again, I haven't really listened to. The most we listened to this album was when we went to see him live. The Alien, I still do stand by as being one of the best Mangina songs.
Didn't we listen to, what's it called? Sleeping Giant?
We listened to Invisible Monster, Sleeping Giant, Awaken the Master, and A View from the Top of the World, the song. So, we only missed like 2 songs, I think. So, you know what? We've listened to most of the album. Not that I can remember most of it. I know whichever one uses the 8 string. I think it's either Awaken the Master. It was just mid. It was fine. But I'm just going to put it in Haven't Listened Enough. But yeah, I still do stand by that Alien's one of the best Mangini songs. Not as good as Enemy Inside. But probably right behind it, or, up there at least. But no opinion.
They got lucky. They won a Grammy because they got lucky. They looked at the fucking contestants that year and they were just like, yeah, this is our year.
I mean, they had shit like Ghost and shit like that.
It were Ghost, Slipknot, Disturbed, I think Foo Fighters. No, that were this year's. Never mind. I know that Slipknot and Disturbed. Oh no, that wasn't this year's and all. Who the fuck were up against Dream Theater? Who lost to Dream Theater? To be honest.
But yeah, I'll not give an opinion for them too because it won't be fair. But that's our Dream Theater tier list. So would we change anything?
Yeah, I'd delete this video as fast as you can because this has gone on for way too long and we mumbled
like
halfway through it.
Hour and 20 minutes.
This is not going on.
So the best album we've put is Chopper's Part 2 and Awake. It Squeeze, Chain of Thought, Images and Words, Systematic Chaos, Octavarium, Falling to Infinity.
Let me review.
Yeah,
I'd keep Astonishing in S tier. I suppose I'm fairly happy with that. I think based on just me and my opinion alone, I would change maybe a couple things, but overall I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So all my 0 viewers. That was
Hello.
Dream Theater up to 2021 because new album soon maybe.
Bro, you know, this is what's going to get us on Prog Report. We're going to be on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Ranking
Join the
Rush
cast
album.
officially. Yeah, so that is our... Actually, one more thing. Where would we put A Change of Seasons?
Shit. Oh, fuck.
Because you can easily just think, oh, yeah, A Change of Seasons is a song, but you forget that it's got loads of fucking covers and shit. I don't know if you want to count them. But they do some really good covers. Because
Who does?
we're on the EP, the Change of Seasons EP.
Oh, fuck. Well, what's on it?
They do a big medley and it's got some Queen in it. I'll have to bring it up. They do like Elton
Rush.
John and shit. No, I don't even think they do Rush.
No, what the fuck?
I don't think they do. Let's have a quick look.
I don't know. I'd say I haven't listened enough, to be honest. But just the song. I guess I don't really know.
So
I
they
suppose
do,
it is, yeah.
I think it's 2 Elton John songs. I don't know what Perfect Strangers is. Then they do a Led Zeppelin medley. Then they do another medley which is like Pink Floyd, Karen Wayward's Son, some Queen song where it is. So, but I think I know we all, just listen for the actual song Change Seasons, which it's hard because it's hard ranking one song up against like literally albums.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that just don't count, because if that counted, we'd have to count all the live albums as well, because they're not technically albums, but they're albums and they got released.
Well, this don't count, so it doesn't matter if it you can't rank it against albums. You're saying that one song's better than an album, whatever. I'd say that A Change of Seasons would slot in between either Train of Thought and 6 Degrees or above 6 Degrees for me. But that's not taking into account. You can't rank one song better than another. Just, that's how I feel about it. If we were ranking the songs, I guess, that's where it'd be.
I'd put it in A. I don't know where. I think I'd rather listen to Change of Seasons in its entirety than Images and Words in its entirety, I think.
Fair. I mean, it's like one of the songs of all time where they wrote it ages ago. It was supposed to be on Images and Words, then it was supposed to be on Awake. Like they just had it. They changed it for years and years, and they just kept writing new versions from like '92. Well, probably I think they were writing it. They wrote it before '92. It was supposed to be on Images and Words, so like I don't know, '90 or '91, and they finally released it in '95.
I'd put it above Images and Words, but below Train of Thought, I think.
But again, we're not counting it. I'm not literally gonna go add it to the fucking tier list and find the album cover and shit. But there we are. That was our Dream Theater. Up to
How many
20.
people have we pissed off? Let us know in the comments. How wrong are we? Let us know in the comments and we'll delete them all. Thank you.
And where would you rank Distance Over Time? And if you from top of the world, tell us in the comments below.
If Astonishing's not an S, don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah, just dislike and leave.
Yeah, don't even dislike, because actually, yeah, do dislike, because that gives us traction, doesn't it?
Yeah. Any publicity is bad. Any, yeah.
Yeah.
Any,
Hell yeah!
any publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, so don't fucking talk to us, don't watch this video, son of a bit.
So, thanks for watching, guys. It's been good. Hope you enjoy.
In a bit, dog shit.
Goodbye.